Do you always keep the promises that you make to yourself? Have you gone into this new year and made some New Year's resolutions that you've already started to forget about? Well, that's totally okay. Lots of people do that. In fact, most people do. But stick with me because I want to help you to flip some mindsets and behavior so that you can keep going and none of that will matter. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Master Coach Trainer and Sustainable Performance Coach. And today I want to celebrate moving into a new year by helping you to renew your vows to yourself. So as we finished off last year, we looked at a process where we reflected on the progress that we'd made and we refocused on what's important, because we collected some data and we aligned that with our values and our priorities and got ourselves ready for going into the new year. We went off and had a bit of a break, which was fantastic. We celebrated whatever it is that we celebrate at that time of the year. And now we're already a week into 2023. Now, what happens a lot at this time of the year is people make New Year's resolutions. And unfortunately, most New Year's resolutions don't make it past the first couple of weeks of the new year. You know, it's a common thing, for example, in gymnasiums where members of gymnasiums who have been there all, last year are disappointed because they go there in the first 2 weeks of the year and they can't get on a machine because there's so many people there. And it's okay. They know, though, they just need to wait, because most people will make those New Year's resolutions without doing the groundwork to back it up and having the support and accountability to keep going. So the machines will be available in no time after those first couple of weeks. And that's okay if you're one of these people that have made some New Year's resolutions to yourself, and you might have done that with some expectations coming from others, or you might have done that through a lens which was not healthy, so it made you really stretch too far out in what you're going to get done in the initial part of the year, and that's fine. So what we want to do today, now that we've collected some data and we've brought it forward and we've refocused on what's important to us, we want to now make a commitment, renew the things that you said that you're going to do. However, make sure that every single one of those things are for you. Now, when I talk like this, a lot of times people think, well, isn't it a bit selfish? Aren't I supposed to be serving others? And yes, however, it's a balance between serving others with self-taken care of. And in fact, I've learned over the years that the greater amount of self-care that I can give myself sets me up for being able to help way more other people as well. So let's look at it through this lens of getting the foundation set. It's like when we talked about leadership at the end of last year, we talked about the fact that personal leadership is the foundation for all leadership. Leading yourself. Well, renewing the vows to yourself and making sure that what you're going to do is going to support you and help you, it's the foundation for you then being able to help others. Okay, so what is it that you want to achieve this year? Remember, the process that we use is that we look at the end of the year and look at the results that we want. And then we look at the reality of where that is right now, depending on what it is. You know, we can look at our health, we can look at our relationships, we can look at finances, we can look at so many things. But then looking at the reality for each of those areas as well. Third part of the process is to look at the roadblocks that are stopping you or would stop you from going from where you are now to where you want to go. And then we bring in some resources, changes in mindset, behavior, learning, training, coaching, whatever it is, so that you can overcome those roadblocks and have an open road to go from where you are now to where you want to go. It's important to remember as well that it's about incremental change. It's not about wholesale change where we work in a dichotomy that says I'm either here or here. No, it's about this is where I am now. What's the first step? And every one of those single steps eventually gets you to where you want to go. It's also, as we talked about at the end of last year, celebrating the progress. So all those things in place, now you're in a position to be able to renew those vows. You see, one of the things that holds you back from doing that is you don't believe you're worthy of them, the results that you want to get. The second thing is you don't believe you're good enough to get there. And the challenge is that you've taken yourself through a process at the end of the year or at every moment that you get the opportunity to beat yourself up about the things that you're not good at, the things that you've failed at. So what you've got to do if you're still in that position is go back a couple of weeks and check out where I talked about celebrating progress, where I worked on that area, and get yourself in the right state of mind to do this. You see, you, just like every other person on the planet, deserves to have a life filled with joy, love, peace, happiness, fulfillment, finance, whatever it is. It doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you've come from. You can draw a line in the sand right now and you can become who you need to become this year to get the results that you want to have. But the first thing you've got to do is you've got to be okay with you having those things. So, with all that in place, and by the way, if it's not in place, there's plenty of help out there to help you to get there. And if you've got some questions, you can hit me up no matter where it is that you're listening or watching this, and I'll definitely point you to some resources to help you with that. But now that you're in that right mindset, what is it that you said to yourself that you were going to achieve in 2023? Revisit that. Put it through the filter that says, does it meet my values? Does it meet my priorities? Is it truly what I want to do? I use a process that's very simple of for what purpose and at what cost. So put it through that filter and go, okay, for what purpose do I want to do that? And if the purpose is external, i.e. to get the approval of others or, any one of those roadblocks that operates, then challenge whether or not it's something that you want to put your energy into. And then if it gets through that first filter, ask the question, at what cost? If I do that, what's the cost? And the cost we're talking about here is the cost of your priorities, the cost of your energy, your health, your mindset, whatever. So if the cost outweighs the reward, then you can challenge that. But once you've done that, now's the time to stand on your altar and recommit those vows. Make that choice to believe in yourself and to reestablish that contract with yourself that you are going to do what it takes to become who you need to become to have the results that you want to have. Now, you can get others involved, but the first step is to realize this is just a vow you're making to you. It's not to anybody else. It's not for anyone else's approval or for them to run a fine-tooth comb over it and have an opinion about it. This is commitment to you. You see, the commitment we make to ourselves is the strongest commitment we will ever make. In the workplace, if I can get the leadership to get the team involved in coming up with strategies to move them forward, then there's a greater chance that those strategies will be executed because the collective team have come up with them. And this is the same with you right now. So as you do this, make sure that you're not letting those whispers of other voices come in, and make sure that you truly are only committing to yourself here. Now, out of that, as you commit to yourself, the intrinsic benefit that will flow on to others, whether they be, in your close family or at work or whatever it is for you, that's a byproduct. But renew those vows to yourself. New Year's resolutions are a great thing if they're looked at in the right way, if they're realistic and being done for the right reason. And you can capitalize. So let's not throw them out. Let's not go, well, hey, a week's gone past and I'm, still eating a bowl of ice cream every night or whatever it is for you. That wasn't a me owning up to something right there. But it was just an example that popped into my head. But whatever it is, it's a matter of going, you know what? Only a week's passed. There's still 51 left. So recommit. And once you've done this once, what I want you to do is think about that every single day of the year. All life is, as far as I'm concerned, is a recommitment every single morning. When I wake up every day, I am grateful that the sun came up again on another day. I've got another opportunity to live a day in my life. So recommitting to myself is the best thing that I can do to make sure that I capitalize and give back for that opportunity. And it's the same for you. Well, that's it from me for another week. Welcome to 2023. You and I are going to have a lot of fun this year. We're going to go on a journey together. I'm going to introduce more topics that are going to help you become who you need to become in your personal, professional, and people leadership. I'll see you next week.